Hi students, in this video we shall discuss about biodiversity and nomenclature. First let us understand the meaning of the word called diversity. The English meaning of diversity refers to the change, the differences or the variety of elements. Okay, now we usually call our India as unity in diversity. Now why do we call this? In India we have different regions, different kind of food, different kind of culture, different kind of traditions, etc. But all of us, we have a firm belief that we all are Indians and we are the citizens of this country. Hum sab Bharatiya hai. We move on this particular kind of attitude. Now when we speak about biodiversity, it is a change, it is a differences or it is a different variety of different elements of life. So the change or differences in the life forms is called as biodiversity. And children, there are more than 1.7 to 1.8 million different species or life forms on this earth. Okay, and this number keeps on adding every time when a new species is found. Now why this number keeps on adding? It's because the researchers are completely involved in this particular branch, that is identification of a new organism. And whenever they found a new organism, then what they do is they register this organism with a specific name into the organization. So every time when a new species is formed and when they register, this number gets added up. Okay. Now next word here is nomenclature. Now what is the meaning of the word nomenclature? The meaning of the word nomenclature is simply naming. And as we are discussing about the living forms or organisms here, we can consider naming of organism. So naming of organism is called as nomenclature. It is as simple as when a human baby is born, we try to give it a new name. So why we give it a new name? So that it has its own identity. Whenever it's called by its name, the person can respond so that it is given a name. And next we are going to discuss about binomial nomenclature. Now what is this binomial nomenclature? Let us read the definition first. This is the standardized naming of organism, as because the scientific name given to the organism remains same in the entire world. Now what this means? See here, as I already told you, in a country like India, okay, we have different, it is said that we have more than 300 different languages in India, and other than India also there are different countries which speak different languages. Now for the same organism, they may give the different names. For example, let me take an example of a mango. In English it is called as, obviously it is called as mango. In Kannada it is called as Mavinakai. In Hindi it is called as Aam. In Marathi it is called as Amba. So you can see that different languages are giving different names here. Now if you consider 300 different languages and the languages of the entire world, then there will be a confusion in the scientific community, remember. Because scientific community, what they do is they do a research on plants, they do research on microorganisms, they do research on animals. Now when the names are changed, different in the local scenario or in the national scenario, then what happens is there will be a confusion in scientific community. They are not going to come into a conclusion about which organism they are speaking. So they had decided, so all scientists have decided to name a particular organism. Okay, and this is called as binomial nomenclature. Now what is nomenclature? We know it is naming. Now what do you mean by binomial here? Binomial means to bi refers to two, noma refers to a number. Okay, so when two names are given for a single organism, that is called as the binomial nomenclature. I will be explaining why two names. Okay, and what is the procedure here? The first procedure is the identification. Identification means what? We are trying to understanding the organism by its features. When you understand an organism by its feature, looking at the features, we come to a conclusion that this so and so organism belongs to so and so group or so and so kingdom. That is called as the identification. Now I was speaking about binomial nomenclature. Now let us take an example, that is example of Mangifera indica. Now see here, now this is the scientific name of a, this is scientific Mangifera. Okay, this is the scientific name of a mango plant. Now you have seen here that in English commonly it is called as the mango. Yes or no? But when we give it a scientific name, here two words we are giving. One is Mangifera and other one is Indica. Now what is this? The Mangifera, it is the generic name. Generic name, and Indica, it is the specific name, or it is also called specific epithet. It means what? When we, I'll tell you in my next video, I'll be explaining about what is the meaning of genera, okay, and what is the meaning of species. So we are going to, when we are classifying, it may be either plant, microorganism or an animal, we are going to classify. There is a hierarchy in classification, and when we classify, it starts from a broader classification to the narrow. It starts in a broader way, then slowly it narrow down. So here we are specifically giving a generic name for it, then we are giving a specific name. This specific epithet or specific name will specify that we are speaking under the group of Mangifera, we are speaking of Indica species. So this is the significance of the binomial nomenclature. Okay, the next concept here is rules for binomial nomenclature. Now what are the rules for binomial nomenclature? See, if an organism has to be given a name, the scientist or the researcher, they can't give the name on their own, because again there will be a confusion. So there is a set of rules, or they have designed certain principles based on certain criteria, based on certain features. We have to name the particular organisms. Now what are those standard principles what person has to follow while giving the name? See, I'll read out. These same rules are given in your textbook also. Biological names are generally in Latin and written in italics. They are Latinized or derived from Latin irrespective of origin. See here, usually it's not 100%, but usually the scientific name are Latin. They are in the Latin language. But even if they are not in Latin, then you are supposed to Latinize them. Now what do you mean Latinize? For example, if your name is Ram and you find a new species, you find a new species of mango, let us say, but how to name this? You can't name it as Mangifera Ram, Ramaniana or Ramaniensis. Like this kind of name you have to give. Means what? You have to italicize, Latinize this name. Okay, and always while writing, it should be in the italic. Okay, and next rule is the first word of biological name represents the genus, while the second name represents the species. Now I told you in my previous explanation also that we have two names, one is genus and other one is specific name. So whenever you are giving a name for an organism, you have to specify both the name, that is genus name also and the specific name also. Okay, what is the third rule here? Both the words in a biological name when handwritten are separately underlined. Okay, in my previous thing, after writing the name, I had underlined these words. Now what this shows, that we are going to respect the rules. So whenever you write the name, if it is printed in the italics, no need of underlining them. But if it is not written in italics, then you have to underline them. See, underlining like this, both genus as well as species. Next, the first word, that is genus, starts with the capital letter, while the specific epithet starts with a small letter. See here, the name of the genus what I have written, I had started with a capital letter, but when I start the species name, I start it with the small letter. So this is also one more rule which is included in the binomial nomenclature. I hope you have understood what is the meaning of biodiversity, binomial nomenclature, and the rules of binomial nomenclature. Other things we are going to discuss in the next video. Till then, take care. Thank you.